Until Dawn, Game of Death. Four friends, Jake, Emma, Liya, and Theo, had been hiking since morning on a secluded mountain trail in America. By evening, the trail started to seem confusing. That's when Jake noticed a signboard and realized they had taken the wrong path, as the board had the name of a different valley that wasn't part of their trail. It was getting dark, and heading back wasn't safe anymore. Jake remembered how some locals had mentioned that near such a board, there was a visitor center. He asked everyone to follow him, and after walking a bit, they finally spotted the visitor center. They decided to spend the night there and leave early in the morning so they could safely return in daylight. As they approached the building, dark clouds gathered and it started raining. They quickly rushed inside. The moment they entered, the rain outside became heavier and thunder roared in the sky. They locked the door from the inside and placed their bags and gear near it. Jake used some old papers and furniture lying around to light the fireplace, and they all sat around it, waiting for the night to pass. It was around 6:45 p.m. Emma and Liya started feeling an eerie sense of discomfort inside the visitor center. Jake, trying to lighten the mood, laughed and said that a local had once told him this visitor center was considered haunted. The local claimed that anyone who entered the center never returned. He even mentioned a girl named Melanie who had entered the valley a few months ago and was never seen again. Jake was mocking the superstitious warning when suddenly, the doors and windows burst open on their own. The strong wind shattered all the light bulbs inside. Even the fire in the fireplace went out, and heavy snow began to fall outside. The temperature dropped drastically. Somehow, they managed to shut the door again, relit the fireplace, and lit several candles to bring some light back into the room. But then Theo realized that Emma was missing. They began searching for her both inside and outside, but there was no sign of her. Theo was in the main hall when he suddenly heard someone running outside. Thinking it might be Emma, he followed the sound. In the snow, he saw a human-like figure. He shouted Emma's name, but the figure floated off the ground. Theo was horrified. The figure looked exactly like him, but with hollow, dark eyes and skin peeling off as if he had been skinned alive. Terrified, Theo trembled. Meanwhile, Jake, who was searching for Emma in a corridor inside the center, noticed his hands in the firelight and screamed. His hands had deep bite marks, as if some creature had attacked him. Hearing his scream, a frightened Liya and Theo rushed back to the main hall. Before they could say anything, they noticed Liya's face. It looked like something was crawling inside her cheek, like a worm or a bomb. Liya suddenly screamed in pain. As they approached her, the thing inside her began to spread under her skin, turning her face completely black. Horrified, they all ran toward the door, but as soon as they opened it, Emma's dead body fell on them. Standing behind her was a terrifying man wearing a mask. The three were in complete shock. Before they could react, the masked man pulled out an axe from behind his back and brutally killed all three. But sometime later, they woke up not in a hospital, but in the same visitor center. Emma was also with them, sitting near the fireplace. None of them could understand what had just happened. They looked at the clock. It was 6:45 p.m., the same time when everything had started. Without wasting any time, they ran out of the visitor center. After going some distance, they thought they were finally safe. But suddenly, the forest trees began to shake, and they saw a massive creature in front of them. Before they could comprehend what was happening, the monster attacked and began devouring them. They screamed in pain until they lost consciousness again. And once more, they woke up in the same visitor center. The clock still showed 6:45 p.m. They realized they were stuck in a time loop. But how to break free? To find the answer, they began exploring the building. While investigating, they discovered a room filled with photos of missing people, including photos of themselves, with a date marked 8 days later. On one wall was written, "If you want to live, you have to survive until dawn." Just then, someone hit them on the head with a baseball bat. When they regained consciousness, they were back in the main hall of the visitor center again at 6:45 p.m. Before they could understand anything, they were killed in new, horrifying ways. They kept trying to escape the valley but couldn't survive until dawn. 8 days later, news came out that 4 people, Jake, Theo, Emma, and Liya, were missing. They never made it out of that visitor center alive. But will Clover and her friends survive? Clover, searching for her missing sister Melanie, arrives at the same visitor center. Will Clover and her friends survive until dawn? Will they find Melanie? Or will they become just another part of the valley's chilling legend? Find out in the brand new horror thriller Until Dawn, based on a unique survival concept. Until Dawn hits theaters on 25th April. I'm super excited for this movie, make sure you don't miss it.